Hello, everyone, and welcome back to this week of MC 310. We are talking about public relations this week, and as we discussed in our first lecture video, one of the key elements to create in public relations is an infographic. Now, an infographic is the visual demonstration of facts that really helps the public and the media to identify information quickly. And so I wanted to go ahead and show you how I might do a design in Canva for an infographic. So Canva, as you have likely come to know, is a very user-friendly platform that allows you to use a lot of templates to begin with. I really like a lot of their infographic templates, but there is a key problem. Their infographics are sized differently than what we might typically use for an infographic. So we need to make sure that we resize some of these. But I'm just going to pick out one of their templates. Let's say that I'm learning or trying to tell students about right brain, left brain learning. Well, here's one right here. I can go ahead and click this. And you can see that I now have my infographic. But when you look at the formats of what this is right now, it's at 800 by 2000 pixels. That is far too long for our needs. You'll notice in the assignment, it asks for a printable 8.5 by 11, which is just a normal sheet of paper. We also call this letter size. So what I'm going to do is go into my resize tab, click letter, and then copy and resize. And then this will allow their current design to come back over, but we're going to have to resize some things so that it doesn't look like it's just fitting the paper. So I'm going to take my website, bring it down lower, and then I'm going to work to get all of my elements. So I'm going to take my cursor and just highlight all of these elements together. Then I want to click group, and now all of those elements are treated as a single group so that if I move one element, it's also going to move the others. Now, I'm not going to be able to get the entire group to left to right to fill the page because otherwise there wouldn't be enough for a header, and we have to have a headline, right? So what I can do is take that headline and kind of make it wider to fit the edges of the page. I'm going to do the same for the subheading, and I might change the sizes on those later. And so now using my rule bars, I'm going to make sure that everything stays centered. All right, so now I'm going to click my group and I'm going to click ungroup because I essentially want to extend out these boxes so that they hit the edges of the page, similar to our first design template. So then I still want these to be bigger because right now it's just not taking up enough space. So we're gonna move these up and make sure that they get aligned again. There we go. All right. And then I'm going to take these two together. Now I'm not going to group them because it's just two elements. So I think that they can travel well together. And I need to make sure that that cortex comes with me. It does. Good. You'll notice that these, because it's written on a circle for the text, it's going to draw the circle when you make it larger. That's fine. It's just the same thing if you drag a text box that is rectangular, but it makes it larger. So now I'm going to make sure to match the other side and make sure that is good as well. And then I'm going to take these elements and group them together. That last one didn't want to go. There we go. Group them together. And now I can make them bigger as a group as well. And I might actually move them over so that they're a little more centered. Okay, same thing over here. Notice that we are using a lot of icons to visually tell the story along with our actual text. Now we want to make sure that these are sized the same since I drug them instead of doing that. But you can see up in this corner that when I click on both of the texts, they're 14.2 for the subhead and 13.5 there. So that's great. They are aligned, which you can tell by, using the group. I should have grouped these before I moved them, so I didn't have to do that again. But you can tell that they're aligned because they are meeting up with one another on that rule bar. So sometimes, as particularly with list, they might get out of whack and then we don't, it's not an even. So here, I really like this so far, but I'm kind of like, I want this bottom part to come down. So I'm going to drag that down a bit. There you go. And then that's going to give me more room up top to kind of make this larger. Okay. So this shows you kind of how to resize the infographic template. Now, if you don't want to use the template, you certainly don't have to. You can just start a new project that allows you to create a design, and then you can just type letter right here. And then now you get a blank canvas to be able to work from. So if you wanted to create your infographic this way, you absolutely can. You don't have to use templates. But if that's something that you're interested in doing, maybe that's a good challenge for you to have. So you could just make sure that you are using a heading. Okay, so let's say this is Best Friends Friday. We'll come in here, make this a little bit smaller. Okay, and then now I can utilize different text boxes, making sure to think through my fonts, my brand style, things of that nature to then design the infographic. Remember, you can always go into elements to find different elements. So since Best Friends Friday is all about pets, maybe I need a puppy, right? Maybe each of my bullet points, instead of being a bullet point, maybe I make them a paw print because that's a more visual way to tell a bullet point, right? So maybe instead of using bullets for my list, I'm going to use paw prints. Anytime you can include cute puppies, for sure, go for it. It's super cute, right? So just consider different ways to play around with the elements. Best Friend Friday is not just about dogs though, so make sure that you are inclusive of our kitty friends. And then once you create an infographic in its entirety, you will turn that into Canvas. You just need to download a copy. You can either do a PNG or a PDF standard or PDF print version, and then upload that into Canvas and share it with the discussion board as well. If you have any questions, please let me know, but you should be able to find project number 4 right here using the fact sheet for the American Heart Association's Best Friends Friday. You do not have to use all of the facts that are given, and I have given you their brand color as well as the Heart Association's PNG logo. But I hope that you enjoy having this. Make sure that you pay attention to the goals of the campaign so you know what the client is wanting you to use this infographic for. If you have any questions whatsoever, make sure that you reach out to me. If you haven't seen this before, please know that you can always schedule time with me up here on my Calendly if you are ever having questions about our design projects. Hope you guys are having a great week, and I will see you for next week's week 15's lessons.